Hello and welcome to the Monthly Miniature Roundup. This is the November 2024 episode and thank you very much for joining me. If you've been following my channel, you may have noticed that I have been absent for 3 or 4 weeks. The reason for that is, well, just life. Life is happening. So lots of family things, work is very, very busy. Also getting some now painting commissions coming through. So things have been keeping me busy and it's been kind of preventing me from actually getting out of a computer to actually do any kind of video editing. I hope to have that change soon and bring you some more content in the future. So please just bear with me whenever I have these kind of moments of dry desert in terms of content. But we're going to be back on track soon, I hope. One area that I am trying to be very consistent with is actually recording on Twitch. So if you do want to see my painting and you do want to chat and speak to me live, things like that, hang out with our small community that we have on our Twitch channel, then please come over, say hello, and give us a follow there. That'll be absolutely awesome if we see you. If not, no worries. I'll try and bring you some content to the YouTubes. Okay. Right, well, that's out the way with. Let's actually get on with our monthly miniature roundup. So, first of all, we've got all of our Corvus Belli releases. So, let's just jump straight into some of the new Infnity stuff that we can be salivating over. First of all, we've got our Beyond Sandtrap set, and that one's coming out with 6 models. Well, actually, I think it's 7 models, but basically 3 extra models, both for the JSA and for the Pan-O forces from Sandtrap. They're looking pretty cool. I do like the JSA models here. They're looking pretty neat. So let's have a quick look at those ones first. We've got a Taishin Hacker with boarding shotgun, a Kurayami Hacker with light shotgun, and a Shizuku FTO with APHMG. All 3 of these models are very unique in their style, very unique in their look, and I just like them. They're really, really nice models, and I think they're a nice addition to the Sandtrap set. My understanding is these 3 could be added to the 7 you have there, and it makes a 10-man, 300-point army ready to go, which is kind of nice just to jump into the game. I don't think... If you're very familiar with Infnity, you know that a 10-man team isn't really the most efficient thing to have in an Infnity force, but it's kind of nice for starters to be able to jump in and actually have a 300-point game without being too confused with different combat groups and things like that. So I think that's pretty nice to have in a set. Quick look at the Pan-O as well. We've got the Blink with the heavy rocket launcher. This one, I quite like this model. I think it's pretty cool just because of the difference that it has compared to a lot of the other Pan-O models. It's kind of got this kind of Spec Ops kind of coat on, and obviously with the heavy rocket launcher is looking pretty cool. A bit of a pose standing on its tactical rock there, but pretty cool. We've also got the Firefly Paramedic and also a Hectari with the Multi-Red Fury. He's looking pretty beefy, and yeah, they're kind of nice models actually. I think these ones are actually pretty good for Pan-O in terms of design. Quite like them. Don't know how they're going to play on the field, but I do quite like this set. I think it's a fairly nice set to add as well to your Sandtrap models if you have them. Now we're getting on to some other things for Infnity. We've also got the Stormbot and Toon Moonrakers set coming out for 012. I'm pretty interested in this set as I think these are really, really nice remotes for the Torchlight Brigade, and I'm really wanting to field a Torchlight Brigade army for N5. The Stormbot is basically a very heavy weapons carrying remote, and the Moonrakers are able to deploy forward, and I believe they're in camouflage state, and they can kind of sneak up and get positions, and I think they can also drop mines, but I might be wrong about that one. Design wise, they're kind of cute, I guess. Very, very curvy, very, very round. But I think there'll be a lot of fun to paint, and a nice little set there. Then we've got some Aleph releases. Now, I'm not a big Aleph player or anything like that, so I don't really know much about these models, but the Posthumans are coming out. They've basically done a resculpt of the Posthumans, and you get 4 of these in the set. Each of them represents a different type of post-human, and each of them have very different, I wouldn't say very different, but they have a bit of a different design from one another. 3 of the models with the helmets remind me of kind of Marvel superheroes, especially kind of Ant-Man-esque kind of characters. And then there's one without the helmet, and that one's probably my favorite in terms of the design. I think it looks really, really cool. The others, meh. I don't quite get the toilet seat around the head thing, but you could always choose to remove it, so whatever, you know, each to their own. O12 are also getting the Steel Phalanx action pack released as well. I believe this was announced quite a while ago, and I thought it was going to be out already, but now it's actually coming out. Again, I hope this marks the Huck Islam set coming out in the near future as well, because that's one I'll be more interested in getting. But the Steel Phalanx set is a really solid set. I think they're really nice miniatures, and I really dig the Steel Phalanx's design. I think it looks really, really cool. If you haven't already got that, that's a really great way to jump into Steel Phalanx. Especially if you're new to N5 and you're interested in Aleph and you're interested in Steel Phalanx, that's where you start. So really nice set there. That's cool. We now finally get the kind of the JSA inspired Beast Hunter. Obviously the Beast Hunter can fight for pretty much any army or any faction. This one is designed more with a JS look in mind. And she's really cool. I love this model. I think it's absolutely awesome, and I'll be very tempted to get it just to paint it. I don't need a Beast Hunter. I already have 5 from Tag Raid, but this one looks like a lot of fun to paint, to be honest. So it's really nice. Then we're going to go and have a look at Ariadna. Ariadna is getting the Kybervolk Patrol. Probably pronounced that wrong, whatever. I'm going to pronounce a lot of things wrong with Corvus Belli games and names and things like that. But this set is kind of cool. Obviously, I find Ariadna to some extent, some might say a little bit goofy because of their kind of their werewolf antipode stuff that they've got going on. But it does make a very, very unique design space for Ariadna with their kind of low tech and combination of weird kind of humanoid creatures that they use in their armies. Say what you like about them, the models look really, really cool. And this particular antipode looks fantastic, carrying the massive hammer and bringing it down on its prey. You've also got I guess it's the controller that will help guide the antipode. And she's got a really cool pose. I really like the fact that they've kind of, rather than just standing on a tactical rock, she's got a tactical rock to put her hand on, and as if she's kind of getting ready and moving into position. This kind of pose is really, really cool when Corvus Belli really designed these styles of models in these kind of poses, ready for action. I like this. It's really cool. And then they've also got 2, I think it's crazy koalas. And now the regular crazy koalas look more like these little cute koalas that are kind of running around kind of thing. Now, Ariadna being low tech that they basically just stuck a couple of little drones on caterpillar wheels and painted googly eyes on them, which I think is absolutely amazing. And what a fantastic Ariadna version of a crazy koala. Great stuff. There's also going to be the ITS exclusive mini coming out. So with the new ITS season, there's usually like a unique model that will come in the set. And this time it's going to be the Digger. And she's looking pretty cool. Looks very, very similar to the Tag Raid Digger for Pan O. Same kind of suit design and everything, but this time carrying a great big hammer and a rifle. So looks really, really cool. And the Diggers are really, really useful. And I think they've used quite a lot in a lot of the factions in N4. We're going to see if that is going to translate to N5 as well, but it's a very popular choice to have a Digger in your army. There's already another Digger that you can get, and that one's pretty cool, but this one just gives you an alternative if you're interested in it, and if you're going to be joining any ITS leagues, you could possibly win it, I guess. That's about it for that one. That's all the Infnity releases, and then we've got Warcrow as well, and Warcrow is continuing its slow release of models and units for the hegemony of Embersig and the Northern Tribes. We still haven't seen what the next army pack is going to be. A lot of the talk is going to be the Sylvan, I think it's called, basically the Wood Elves. And what we've got this month is we've got the aggressors for the Hegemony of Embersig. Now, Hegemony of Embersig are usually based around very, very defensive units that kind of hold their ground and stay firm. The aggressors, on the other hand, are exactly how they sound. They're going to charge in, they're going to hack away at things, and they're going to do a lot of damage, but they might be a bit glass cannony. So it kind of gives the Hegemony of Embersig an alternative unit to just kind of alpha strike things and just really, really attack. That's how I kind of seeing how they work. And they're really, really cool. Love the design of these guys. Very, very nice with their kind of Zweihander two-handed swords that they're carrying. Really, really cool. Now for the northern tribes, they're getting some more orcs, and these are the battle scarred. These ones, I think, design-wise, they look really, really nice. I love the fact that they got these big shields and these nice helmets and these great big weapons, and they're kind of like the veteran orcs. These ones are probably a little bit slower, a little bit tougher, and they can probably hold their own and hold territory a little bit more. So they're kind of stepping into the Hegemony of Embersig's main kind of territory of models. So these guys might be coming up to really, really just hold an objective down. Is how I imagine how they would play. So I'll probably try and do some videos in the near future just talking about some of the profiles that we're seeing coming out for Warcrow, because it's a lot of very, very interesting stuff. And I think the game's really, really we're gonna really be able to sink our teeth into Warcrow soon as more models are released and we can actually play with more of them. So looking forward to seeing it all coming out. So now, stuff that I'm excited for. All right, so N5 is still not here. Oh my God, it's still not here. So we're still waiting on N5 to come out. It should be coming out in December. Got our fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll see that really, really soon. There's been a trickle of information with different profiles, either ones which have already been in N4 and they're showing us the N5 profile and how it's changed a little bit. And then there's some completely new profiles. We've recently also seen some profiles for the kind of the hover bikes, the vehicles that are going to be appearing in the Infnity game, which I'm still a little hesitant on. I don't think I'll be picking them up anytime soon, but it's kind of interesting to see how they might work. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting to see that, but I'm really, really excited to actually get stuck into N5. I think some of the excitement is waning because of the wait, but I'm sure once it's here, everyone's gonna be back on and really, really excited for it. So here's hoping anyway. Warcrow Adventures is now being sent out to all of the backers, and one of my friends here in Japan has received his copy of Warcrow Adventures, and on the last weekend we managed to play a couple of scenarios. I'll be releasing a video to talk about what I think and feel about the Warcrow Adventures game, but it's pretty cool. I did enjoy it, and I will talk about it in more detail in another video. But what's really exciting about that is that means soon-ish we will also be seeing profiles for the scions that came in the Warcrow Adventures box set. And that means we can start playing with another faction soon as well. So that's also quite exciting there. Warcrow Adventures also isn't Kickstarter exclusive, so that means it will be available to buy as well. And after playing it, I think it's something that would be of interest. Don't know if I'm actually going to jump in and buy it. I've got to be careful with all the things that I get. And I want to really focus in on Infnity and just the Warcrow armies that I've got. But it's definitely something that will be ticking along in my brain a little bit as to whether or not I want to maybe invest in Warcrow Adventures, because it seems like a pretty solid adventure, and they learned a lot from what they did with Infnity Defiance. So yeah, it seems pretty cool. Other things for me that I'm excited for is there's a painting competition in Osaka here in Japan, which I have entered a couple of times before. I've managed to do fairly well in it. thankfully. And now I'm starting my new miniature for that. I'm trying to do a diorama piece, and I may even try and enter a couple more minis in different categories as well. So please wish me luck. I'm going to be busy painting up these models, trying to make them look as nice as possible. And if you do want to follow how I'm doing with that painting, please check out my Twitch channel, because that's where I'm going to be painting it. I'm not going to be doing videos for YouTube on it. It takes way too long to paint these things, way too much footage to trawl through to try and edit. So it's just not something I can do for YouTube. But if you are interested in seeing it, go check out my Twitch. Okay, thanks very much. All right, we got some Kickstarters as well. Right, last couple of months I haven't been talking about Kickstarters because nothing's really come up on my radar, but now I've got a few things that I was quite interested in. I wanted to talk about this earlier in the month, but as I said at the beginning of the video, time, life, and things get in the way. So this Kickstarter has ended, but it is one of interesting note because it did really, really well. And that is Trench Crusade. It's basically a game a bit like Mordheim or Necromunda, but it's set during World War One, and it's as if imagine if chaos, demons and monsters and hell spawn became real around about the time of the First World War. So you kind of got First World War tech mixed with crazy chaos, hellish creations and things. And it's all set in trenches, so you kind of got to make a board full of trenches for them to all kind of fight down and fight through, which sounds really, really cool. It did really well. It's got a lot of really cool artists who've been working on it, a lot of famous kind of popular people within miniature gaming, designing the rules and things like that. So it's one to follow and see how it does, and see if this is something that's going to really kick it off once they start fulfilling it. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. We'll see what happens with that one. There are some people, I think, here in Osaka that have shown an interest in it as well. So when it does get released, I may be able to dip my toes in it quite easily. We'll see. Another Kickstarter that piqued my interest was the RPG for Discworld. This one, I'm afraid, is also over, but I believe they're taking late pledges at the moment. And it looks really cool because it's Discworld, and I absolutely love and adore Discworld. When I was a kid, I used to read lots and lots and lots of the Discworld books. I probably should go back and start reading them again, because a lot of that has just left my brain, but I have lots and lots of really warm, happy memories about Terry Pratchett's Discworld. And I remember playing the video game way back when on the PC when that one came out. And that one I really loved because I love point and click adventures as well. So there's lots for me to love in terms of the lore for that, and it looks like they've tried to add a lot of the humor and things into the gameplay and into how the game works. It's done by Modifius using their D20 system. Some people really like the Modifius system, some people don't. It's a bit of a Marmite situation, I think, with Modifius stuff. But one thing I really, really love about Modifius RPGs, because they did the Infnity RPG as well, is how they do character creation. The character creation for Modifius RPGs are usually really fun and really, really in-depth and really, really just great to just make up characters for, even if the game sucks. But I'm sure this one will also have a wonderful character creator, and I'm sure the game will be a lot of fun as long as you can find the right players and DMs to run the campaign, because you have to do a kind of a comedy thing, a bit more of a humorous thing with the adventures. It may be a little bit more difficult to really, really create a world that works and get the right kind of players, but if you do, well, I think it'll be chef's kiss. It'll be nice. Finally, on Kickstarter's one that is coming soon is going to be the Turnip28 Shattered Lance. There's just been a trailer released with the work of Alphabusa, if you're familiar with his kind of videos, helping the creator put out a video to promote it. And it's basically going to be an expansion on Turnip28 with some new, I think there's 6 new cults that are going to be coming up, a whole bunch of new models and STLs that you can get through the Kickstarter. So looks really fun, looks really cool. I think it's worth checking out because I'm getting excited for Turnip28. I've even had a go at making my own Turnip28 model. I made my first model for Turnip28. I've got a whole lot more to make, but we'll see when I get time to do that. Eventually I will, and we'll paint it up, and that'll be fun. I get to play some games with Turnip28, but that won't be for a while. But yeah, kind of excited for Turnip28. I think it's a really, really cool setting, and I love the humor of it. It looks like so much fun. So yeah, check it out. Turnip28 Shattered Lance. Alright, now it's time to have a look at some of the painting that my little community has been working on. I love giving out the shout-outs to just share what they've been doing, because they've been doing such a great job. So first of all, we've got Hey It's Bren. He's been busy with his O12. He got the Roadblock out, which I actually played a game with him on Tabletop Simulator, and he completely decimated me. And he used these roadblocks really, really well. And so yeah, he's got the roadblock there. It looks really cool. His painting is absolutely fantastic. And he's got some more. We've got some copper bots as well, and we've got this guy with his little remote thingy. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is. And they all look fantastic. Really nice work. His paint scheme is such a strong paint scheme, and they're all so uniform together that you can imagine when you see them all on the table, they're gonna look fantastic. So great work. Hey, it's Bren. We've got someone new who's joined the community and has been sharing his work, and that's Shiny Mew Paints. And we've got this lovely little ultramarine here that he's painted up. I believe this is his first Space Marine that he's painted, which is very nice. But the stuff that he really digs into is these wonderful little goblin characters that he prints and paints. So yeah, we've got a whole plethora of very colorful looking, fun goblins. So yeah, they're absolutely great. Love them a lot. They're super. Martin as well has been painting up quite a bit recently. He's done some medieval soldiers with their shields, and he's done a really good job on their heraldry. I really like these little models because they're quite small, but the detail that he's put in on the shields is really, really nice. He's also done some of these aliens from, I'm not sure what game, but from a game that he has. I believe it's a little bit of an older game, but wonderful colors, nice and bright. Love the blues and the oranges. Always the blues and the oranges, lovely contrast with one another. Then we've got, I think, is it an Imatron? I always forget the name of these things, but it's from the Combined Army for Infnity. And he's done this lovely job with this really, really vibrant orange moving to yellows. It looks really, really nice there. So that's a cool model. And he's also got some Dark Angel Space Marines from the Horus Heresy. So they're wearing the black armor rather than the dark green, and they're looking really, really cool. He's also done some World War I minis, and you don't see very many World War I minis. I certainly don't see very many. It's usually all World War II, especially here in Japan. That's kind of where the interest is in these types of models, but we've got some really cool World War I ones. These are some German troops in the trenches. He's done a really nice job painting them. I would say the photography for these ones, the flash going or the light coming right forward is a little bit harsh, so it kind of just whites out a lot of the details and things, but you can tell it looks nice. It looks nice. Then we have Gambit, who's now been painting a lot of busts, and he's been enjoying painting busts quite a lot. I think he's going to be bringing a lot more in the near future as well. But he's done this wonderful Viking lady or Berserker lady. I'm not quite sure which, but really, really cool. Love the skin tones on this. This is so nice. And then like the very diluted tones elsewhere kind of really brings your eyes towards the head and the hair and things like that. Really nice job on that. Really like it a lot. And this wonderful looking Harlequin as well. Very difficult to paint white, I find, but he's done a really good job. It's a very clean job as well. Love that too. The green hair, really, really nice and bright. It's very cool. So thank you very much, Gambit, as well. And thank you everyone who's been submitting their photos. If you would like to share any of your work that you have been doing, please come and join our Discord community. The link is down in the description. Just jump in, say hi. We like to share our photos, our work in progress, and our completed projects. So I've been fairly busy as well with a lot of painting. I've been able to paint a whole variety of things. So I got to paint a couple of Blood Bowl special characters, and we got some classic star players with Griff Oberwald and Varag Goldchewer. I really enjoyed painting these guys. Blood Bowl has a lot of really fun models to paint, and you can paint them up nice and bright, ready for the field, and you just feel really good after painting them all. So I've always found these also to be lovely palette cleansers when I've been working really hard on painting like a whole army for Infnity or going through some very difficult project. So Blood Bowl gives me a lovely palette cleanser there. So I've been working on a lot of Shadows of Brimstone models, and we've been doing quite a bit of kind of yokai inspired models. First of all, we've got this woman here who has all of her hair coming down and she's floating through the air, a bit ghostly like. So I did a really pallid skin tone, and the real challenge with this was the kimono, trying to get a nice kind of vibrant green, and then also adding on the floral pattern design as well. I based this model on a picture that I saw of this particular yokai and tried to match it as best as I could. And I was really happy with the final result. A really fun model to paint, that one. I also painted a whole unit of Tengu as well, and these Tengu all had the same kind of monopose. Tried to go with a lot of the box art, or at least like the art design that is with Shadows of Brimstone, and try and match that a little bit. These ones were a little bit quicker, just kind of get them out there and done for the tabletop. We also had a unit of 6 skeleton warriors as well, and these are all in samurai armor and things. So we'll try to make the armor look a little bit rusted and worn out, and maybe had been buried under the earth for a while. And then these guys came up and started fighting once more. Again, kind of a quick job with these guys, but they were a lot of fun to paint. Then I had these 3 Cthulhu-like warriors, these berserkers, these executioners, and these guys were a lot of fun. I based these ones purple and wanted to kind of keep that purple very strong in the tones. So even with the green skin, you can see the shadow recesses are all purple as well. I think that makes them really pop on the tabletop and look really nice. We even tried a little bit of OSL as well with the one holding the orb. I'm still kind of figuring out OSL, but I feel like for a quick OSL job, this one came out quite nicely. It was basically just glazing in a lot of that turquoise to try and get that nice kind of shining quality onto the face without losing the information underneath that kind of informs you of its original color. That's kind of the tricky part for OSL. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. I've also finished up painting my Beyond Warcrow set as well. So we had the Pioneers. These dwarfs were so much fun to paint. There's so many like little details that you can kind of fill in and paint and add to them that it was just a joy to paint them. They were really fun. And we also had, I think it's Talia or Telia, I forget her name, but the sniper as well. She also was a really good one to paint. I was really happy with how the eyes came out for her. Eyes are usually a really difficult thing, but I tried to take a lot of care with getting her eyes right, and I think they came out all right. We also had the skin changes. These were the first Varunk that I painted. I did actually put a video out painting these, so please go and check that one out if you're interested. But these were so much fun to paint. Love painting me some blue-skinned troll-like characters. These guys were great. And of course we got to paint Njord as well and add on his tattoos, which were really challenging for me. I find painting freehand tattoos and any kind of freehand really stressful. But I wanted to try and do it. It's a bit wonky, it's a bit off, but it's there and it's kind of cool to see it on there. So yeah, we've got a bit of his kind of tattooed body on there. But otherwise, a lot of fun to paint them. And now all of those Warcrow minis are painted that I have, and I can play with them on the table looking pretty nice. So very happy with that. And now I'm working on my contest piece, which is this big Minotaur. And I look forward to painting that, finishing it, and showing it to you, hopefully next month, if not the January edition. All right. Thank you very much. Finally, I'm going to give a YouTube shout out to my friend Jeremy, who runs Upturned Table. You really should go and check out his videos. He does constant videos and weekly podcasts as well, talking about all kinds of RPGs, miniature games, and everything around our hobby, all from the perspective of living in Japan. And he was very kind enough to let us use his space to have a gathering of people to play Warcrow Adventures, and we had an absolute hell of a time. So please go and give him some love, check out his channel, and say hello from us. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Well, that's basically all we have for the Miniature Monthly Roundup, or the Monthly Miniature Roundup, whatever you want to call it. And I hope to see you next month. I'll be putting out these videos every month, even if other videos don't get as much attention these days. I will try to keep this one a constant for you guys. But otherwise, please give us a like, give us a subscribe if you haven't. It really does help me out. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to have a look at for future months, and I'll be happy to check out your recommendations. Thanks, everyone. Have an absolutely stellar December that's coming up very soon now, and take care. Bye-bye.